Lincoln, and welcome to Randy on the Road, a show about community interest. We're at the Northeast Innovation Center in Northeast Indiana, and I'd like to introduce my guest. This is Dr. Saharra Bledsoe. She is the current president of the NAACP here in the Fort Wayne area. Welcome to the show, and thank you for joining us so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
First of all, tell me about you. Have you lived in Fort Wayne your whole life?
Yes, I am originally from Fort Wayne, Indiana. My father was the late Reverend James W. Bledsoe. And as you can see from my collar, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. So I moved away for a short time, attending college in the military, and I've been back here now roughly about 7 years.
Nice. Well, it's good to have you back.
Yes, yes.
And you jumped right back in there, didn't you?
Jumped right back in, okay.
So let's talk about the NAACP. Tell me about the impact on you and with you before you were president.
Well, my father was also president of the NAACP, so my presidency is historical in that I'm following in his footsteps. But my father was dedicated to improving a better life for all citizens, but especially citizens of color. And as a small child, I had that experience of traveling with my father during his various missions and tasks as president of the NAACP. So that sense of unity and doing and service of the people was just embedded in me at a very early age. And it has served as an excellent sense of purpose and dedication for my life, in that I know that you're on call 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, and that it's not about you, and that you have to learn how to be outside of yourself in addressing the concerns of the people.
And that's just it. I mean, this is not just a job. This is a call.
Yes.
It really is.
It really is. It really is.
And it's so much more than just a title. You know, there are jobs where there are great titles. Oh, yes. And there are titles that don't begin to cover the jobs.
Exactly.
So tell our viewers, what is the NAACP? What does it really stand for? Because a lot of people, you know, they know what it is, but what is it?
I am really astounded to recognize and realize that a lot of people do not understand that the NAACP basically began through the white race. Yes. Okay, in that it was concerned for Black Americans and the incidents of slavery and lynching and the abuse, and as a result of a riot that took place in the birthplace of Abraham Lincoln, a group of journalists wrote an article, and this article gained attention and merit because it called upon citizens, white citizens, to become concerned and involved about the treatment of Black Americans in the United States during that time. And as a result of that, some white citizens united, came together, with the only Black citizen at that time at the table was W.E.B. Du Bois. And at first it was known as the Negro Committee. And that evolved into what we know now today as the National Advancement for the Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP.
Okay. Isn't that something?
That is really something. And that's a part of what my job is to get that message out, that the NAACP isn't just a Black organization. That's right. It's a people organization. That's right. Okay? And that we serve all, and that we're engaged for the educational, the economic, the political, and the social equality of rights for all people.
Well, and it was your father who said to me, "You are a colored person."
Oh, yes.
He said, "You are a colored person." He said, "We're all colored people." He said, "That is what the difference is." And you know, I feel that I was truly blessed to be raised colorblind.
Oh, yes, yes.
I just wish more people were, because it has nothing to do with race. No. It has nothing to do with religion we're all here for a purpose.
The human condition.
Thank you.
The human condition.
Thank you. Well, and I think that joining together is so important. I was raised in Toledo, Ohio during the Black Panther race.
Oh, okay.
And that was a scary time.
Yes, yes.
Very, very
yes.
scary for me. So when I come here and I have people talk to me, I'm like, you don't know. You don't know.
It's nothing like having that experience and that involvement at an early age.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and it makes a difference, you know, because I realize that people can often sit back and judge without even knowing what they're judging.
So easy.
Okay, and what it's all about.
That's right.
You know, and then, but let something happen to one of their family members.
There you go.
Okay.
And we see that all the time.
All the time.
So, okay, so how does your faith contribute to your leadership as the president?
Well, I was certainly glad, number one, to realize that, you know, last year was one of the most deadliest of all years for our city when it relates to senseless gun violence. And I found that as I had to go to those mothers and those fathers, those uncles and those aunts, those sisters and those brothers of those victims, that had it not been for my sense of faith and my very close relationship with God, that I wouldn't have had that circle of compassion, that inner wisdom when you know not to be able to impress upon a weeping mother to dry her eyes, and that there is joy, and that all things do work together for good. And that God, we serve a God who has promised to put no more on us than we can bear.
That's right.
And when you look at those children, some of them that these young men and women have left behind that have not even begun their academic experience. And you have to pick up that crying, weeping baby. There is such a sense of compassion that is beyond anything you have ever known within your own human self. And to find that you have that to give to someone else. That is when you know that you're serving somebody greater.
Amen.
And much bigger than yourself.
Amen.
Okay?
That strength that comes out of you almost scares you.
It really does. You know, because it's something that, you know, by me having been raised by a minister, you know, I had heard about.
Sure.
You know, and that I had known of, but I had never in my life experienced until I began to have to be there for these family members, you know.
That is no easy feat, my
No,
dear.
no. When you step on a scene, and it's even before they've covered the deceased's body.
Sure.
And you're
it's
torn.
So senseless.
Yeah, it's not only senseless, but then you're torn between, you know, the police have their job to do. Yeah. But then you've got this family member over here that all they want to do is go see their loved one, go touch, and you have to explain to them, well, you can't go beyond the tape.
That's right.
You know, it calls on you to have something come up out of you to be of service to those people that you never knew that you had within yourself.
Well, and I think that just adds to the leadership.
Oh, yes.
I mean, there's no question that you came here, I think, armed with more than you knew you had.
Exactly.
But, you know, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called.
There you go.
And it was a horrible year last year.
Oh, yes.
And I certainly do not want a repeat of what happened. So many different agencies are kind of coming together and just trying to stop the senselessness of all this. Just doesn't need to happen.
Exactly. We feel that a community that is suffering from inaction, when there's such a call for action, needs to have a positive means of participation. And so that's what we as the NAACP, we're trying to bring to the table, you know, so that no matter how small the concern or the voice, it is heard and recognized. I listen to people all the time, you know, saying, well, oh, well, that's not my problem. That's not my side of the town. That's not this. That's not my church. But when you recognize that we're all a part of the body, you know.
They're all our churches.
They're all our churches. They're all our people. They're all our children.
Amen.
You know, and when you look at what's happening to the children, we have young men that were killed and women that were killed last year that left babies.
Yes. Yes.
You know, so
that we'll never know.
No,
them.
that never, ever. And I don't want them to grow up knowing that they live in a city where people didn't care.
Thank you.
You know, whether we like it or not, we're left with an awesome responsibility. Okay, but we can do it. You know, and
why wouldn't we?
Exactly. You know, and that's the great thing about the organization that I represent. You know, for over 100 years, we've been doing this work, you know, and we've only gotten more proficient at it, you know. And when it started off, it grew from just a little over 300 members to now we have over 500,000 all across this country.
Isn't that amazing?
And world. You know, so that's what people power is all about.
That's right.
You know, and what we can do once we unify behind a common service, good mission, you know, we can get something done. Right. You know, that's all that America is all about.
Always.
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 You know.
Yes, yes, I do. So what is your vision for branching the community? What do we need to do here? You know, we can come together for a rally.
I would like to see at least one member from every family become a member of the NAACP.
Great call out.
That's my #1 goal, okay? And my #2 goal is to see that the NAACP does all of its work through our various committees. Right. And I often hear organizations coming up now and they're trying to figure out how to get this done or how to get that done. They need to understand that from health, education, political action, labor, veteran affairs, we at the NAACP, we already have the committees, we just need the people. So another one of my visions is to make each committee at least 50 members strong.
Wow.
Okay? Because there isn't a city meeting, there shouldn't be a county, city or county, anything that is going on without a representative there for the people. And we can do this.
I agree.
We can do this.
Well, what does it take to become a member?
Simply, all you have to do, the memberships are $30 a year. You can go to our website. All you got to do is Google Fort Wayne, Indiana NAACP. Okay. You can go to our national website, which is naacp.org. Okay. Or you can feel free to call me or our office, which is 260-426-3049, and we will get you a membership.
Awesome.
Okay? And if you do it on the internet, our local branch number is 3049. Okay. Be sure to put that. So check the affiliation box and affiliate yourself with the local branch.
3049.
Yes.
Okay. Well, and I think that the community needs to know that this is so much more than those people over there. You know, we compartmentalize the committees and the people of the city instead of joining to find out. If you've got questions about how you can help, what's going on, more information just so that you know how you can help, this is our representation for the city. And if you're alive, you are a colored people.
Yes.
That's it. And I think that you know, the derision just needs to stop. Yes. So I guess that, you know, what I'd like for them to know is what your greatest need is, and that would be for people to just come forward, step forward, because there is power in numbers.
Oh, yes. And to know that even within the organization on a local level, you recognize and learn the power of the vote. We vote on everything that we do out of every committee, every aspect of what we embrace, we vote on it. And it's a magnificent process. And our meetings are held every third Thursday of the month at the Public Library downtown. Okay. Okay? and the executive committee meets from 6 to 7, and the general membership, where you don't have to be a member to attend, is from 7 to 8.
And they can sign up that night?
They can sign up that
Wonderful.
night to become a member.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, you've given us some great opportunities to get involved, to learn more about it. Hopefully you've learned enough that it's piqued your interest. And if helping the city of Fort Wayne and surrounding areas is important to you and you thought that there was nothing you could do to help, there might be. Maybe it's time for us to join together and see what we can do as a group. Because our Fort Wayne is not what it used to be, but it's not what it's going to be in the future either. Thank you so much for joining us, and I really advise you to give Sahara a call. Make sure that you find out some more about it. Become a member. Let's see if we can really get up to 50 people per committee and see what's going on. So thanks for joining us. This is Randi on the Road, and we'll see you next time with another community interest.